All right, we're outside again, and it is a sunny, bright day. The sun is pounding, but it's good. My pale skin needs it. We need that. We need it. Okay, so the message today is that everything will make sense soon. Everything will make sense soon. What does that mean? I think for you right now, it's like things have been almost going well, and then they just get taken away from you, and you're really confused, right? Because it's like you're putting in the work. It's not like you're lazy. There's always more that you could be doing, but sometimes you look around and you see other people and they're putting in way less effort than you are, and it's like, okay, why are they getting this thing and I'm not? Like, what's the difference? Are they just lucky? And soon you will be one of those people who's lucky. I think it's like, at the end of the day, you got to think about it like you're being protected from these unseen problems that you could be having if you were to get what you want right now, right? I forget who said this, but if someone said, like, if God gave you everything you asked for, you would be in hell, right? It's like there is this kind of unseen plan that's unfolding, and you have to kind of just be like, okay, I don't really see the plan. I don't see where this is going, but there is a plan, and things are going to work out. Things are going to get better. And I just have to do my part of staying open. And when there's an opportunity, being like, all right, let's see what we can do with this. And to stay consistent, right? Recently, something I started doing was Qigong. There's like these Qigong flows you can find on Instagram. And it makes you feel really good. So maybe this is a sign you should try to do some Qigong. It's like 10 minutes, and you're getting all of the fascia in your body rehydrated. When we get stressed out, a lot of our energy and our stress goes into, basically dehydrates our fascia, and we get all tight and stiff. And stretching alone doesn't help enough. So Qigong is something that can definitely help. I'm also getting the sense that, you're closer to the other side than you think. The funny thing is about a lot of things in life is that it's like a binary switch. Like for you could go 6 months, a year, whatever, and not have anything. And then all at once you could get like 4 or 5 opportunities in relationships or your career or whatever. And you just don't know when it's going to happen, And it's really hard, right? Because it's like, to your brain, essentially, it feels like it's forever. It's either forever or it could happen tomorrow and everything's all good. So if you're in a particularly tumultuous time in your life, it's like, I know you've probably been hanging on for a little while, or maybe a long while, but, we got to keep hanging on, no matter how hard it gets, because I know things can get hard. You can be, especially if you had something like a dark night of the soul, things can get hard. You can just feel a complete abandonment by the universe, by everything. And it is definitely possible to experience hell on earth while you're alive, and I've experienced it. And so if you're going through that, it's like, it will make sense why, and you will get out of it. Maybe it won't even need to make sense, because you'll be out of it and you'll be just so grateful every day that you just feel connected to yourself. You feel connected to the people that you choose to have in your life. And because the process of the dark night of the soul, I don't know if this is going to resonate, but the process is basically dissolving your personality, right? So you're just you have this conception of yourself up until a certain age. And generally speaking, you created that self for survival. But then it gets to a point where survival is no longer necessary, like, because we live in the modern age, we don't need to just be in survival. And if you do these sort of spiritual practices, if you do like third eye meditation, you will start to almost create this space between yourself and your former self. And you're just kind of observing yourself, and you realize all of the things that were false, all the identities that you created, the patterns that you had that kind of kept you stuck but protected you. And then it's like, okay, we got to let go of those. And this whole thing, if you zoom out and look at it for what it really is to make it so that you can live your own life, you know? I think maybe you're someone who hasn't lived their own life. You've lived, and this is most people, we've lived a life that we think is okay with everyone else because we learn that that's going to keep us alive, right? If we stay in line and if we do what other people accept or other people are doing, then we're gonna, we're gonna be accepted and included. But in that process, you can, I keep wanting to say lobotomize, that's not the word. When you chop off one of your limbs, it's like you're doing that to yourself and your psyche. And so now this process is about kind of recalling all of that energy that you've suppressed or is now lying dormant. And I'm getting the sense that you're closer than you think. Because the funny thing about it, and maybe you've experienced this, is like it could just happen at any moment. Like you could figure out, oh, you have to do this certain practice or this certain exercise, or you get a job and then you realize your body feels safe and then everything becomes okay, or you find the right person and in relationship you learn that you can be safe with another person. And so it can happen at any time, you know, and have some excitement for that, because really it is a journey and it is meant to be exciting. Like when it's, you know, if it is seen as an adventure, if it is seen as something worth writing about, your life, then there's going to be periods where you don't know what's going to happen or if it's ever going to be okay. And that's the, you know, in music you have the suspense and then you have the resolution, right? So you have something, some chord makes things, oh, it sounds scary, and then it resolves. And if that didn't exist, if you didn't have that suspense or that kind of unsettled, dissonant thing, then the resolution wouldn't matter as much, you know? And it's almost like your soul is like, I want to get the biggest feeling of resolution and safety and comfort and knowing and trust and love and all of that. And the way you get that is by being in a terrible, terrible, terrible time and surviving it, right? Getting to the other side of it. And so you're close, you're getting there, you're really getting there. And you might even see signs of it, you might not, but there are signs. If you look closely, there will be signs that you are getting there and that things are going to be okay.